Okay, so yeah, we're second, or as Gary Neville might say, joint top. Hello everyone and welcome back to more Norwich City. Bouncing back, and well, Season 4 has got off to an absolutely fantastic start. Yes, it seems the new transfers yesterday have, well, they've really made a big difference, and we have played 7 matches. We've won 6 of them, 1 defeat, but that's matching Man United, 18 points on the board. We are second, only behind on goal difference. We're ahead of Liverpool, ahead of Chelsea, ahead of Manchester City, and that is really quite fantastic. So how has this happened? Well, the results have been really quite spectacular, and the performances have been matching them. The win against Sheffield United last time, 2 goals from Adamida. He has started the season off like a house on fire, already 6 in 7 for him so far. That is what we like to see, and we followed that up with a 3-1 win against Watford. Lookman, 2 from Ida, getting the job done there. Then a little bit of a tricky game against West Ham away from home. Took the lead early on through Adamida, and then they equalised in the 79th minute through Jesse Lingard. I thought, oh, here we go again, we're going to throw it away, but no, immediately struck back. Free kick from Maddison. Tarkowski headed home to give us the lead, and then all 3 points. And that was then backed up as we beat West Bromwich Albion 2-0. 4 wins from 4, winning our opening 4 games. Fantastic stuff. Ida and the first for the season for Buendia. We then, our first defeat of the season, we didn't really turn up as we lost to Everton. We always beat Everton, but not this time. It was a 2-1 win for them on this occasion. Louis Coyle scored an absolute banger to get us back into the game, but it wasn't enough. But we bounced back straight away. The second 11, we now have a second 11 that I'm pretty confident in, and they got the job done as we beat Lask from Austria 2-1 in the Europa League group stage. We'll look at the group in a second, and then the 2 best performances of the season, and then an absolutely fantastic performance as we beat Manchester City 2-0. Buendia and Lookman with the goals. We actually always beat Man City at home. That's 3 home games in a row where we've beaten them. In fact, 4, because if you include the real life game from the season Norwich were most recently in the Premier League, that they beat Man City at home then as well. So yeah, we've got Pep's number. That was then followed up as we got past the Carabao Cup third round for, I think, the first time ever. We beaten Brighton 2-0. Of course, Brighton got relegated last season despite reaching the Europa League quarter-final. We avoided that problem with some good form throughout, so the second 11 getting the job done there. And then we beat Arsenal again. We have got quite a good record against Arsenal as well, actually. We look at that. Yeah, pretty reasonable. 3 wins against them is not too bad at all. But this one was another one. This one was at the Emirates as well, which is more impressive. Marcus Edwards with a goal late on. We've got to watch it if we can. One of these games where Arsenal basically dominated the game for the most part, but we kept having counter-attacks, we kept having chances, and then this one we were lining up in the box waiting to take it on, and Marcus Edwards is the one who delivers all 3 points. So that's been the start of the season. It's been very good, I think it's fair to say. Of course, we've seen Ida, 6 goals for him. James Maddison yet to score, but he has got himself a hat full of assists. 5 assists already from the first 7 games. His set pieces are deadly. He's already got more assists than he did in the entirety of last season for Leicester. And you can see from the average ratings, it's early days, but everyone is playing well. Every single person is above a 7, apart from Lookman, and he's scored a few goals, so I'm not even too concerned about that one. Harry Winks, the good news is he is back from his broken leg, but he's injured again. He's got a twisted ankle. He'll be out for 2 weeks, so he's going to be missing today again. He got back from injury, played a couple of, a little bit of football, and then he played against Man City, was very good in that game, and then some idiot in charge of the under-23s decided, yeah, you know what, he's not match fit, we'll play him in a game against Tottenham under-23s the next day, and he got a twisted ankle. So not the worst injury ever, but we're going to miss him today. So what about today? Well, we will be playing a Europa League group stage match, the most difficult one I think that we have, and I think probably the only one we're going to be definitely playing the full strength 11, or as full strength 11 as we can do. We will be playing Real San Sebastian, or Real Sociedad to you and me, away from home, and otherwise I think quite a kind group. Lask, as you've seen, and Bromby as well. We should be getting through this one without any trouble, but we want to see if we can avoid a slip up in this one and keep the momentum going. So the team for this one is, they're already gelling really well. Nick Pope is of course going to be in goal, continuing his fantastic form. Jamal Lewis is at left back, 7.46 rating for him. He did actually get a bid from Man United on deadline day. It wasn't particularly great, it was non-negotiable. If I see a non-negotiable bid from the AI, the first thing I do, the only thing I do, is reject it. Not interested at all. He wanted to go, but Christoph Zimmermann has persuaded him to stay, and he's fine with it. Mepham and Tarkowski have already formed a pretty formidable partnership. Mepham is just, it was against Arsenal, I think. He put in a tackle that can only be described as match saving. It was absolutely outstanding. Max Aaron's above a 7. We love to see it. Vieira's going to be in midfield, of course, in the absence of Winks. He's done pretty well so far with Chowdhury and James Maddison, who has been just... His set pieces are outstanding and his overall play is amazing. Lookman has been far better than his rating would suggest. Buendia has been his usual steady self. And then this man up top, he just... Well, I'd play him anyway because, you know, he's just the best, really. Sociedad, of course, have a very good team in real life. They are, you know, doing well in La Liga in real life at the moment. In this current season, they're not doing as well as that, but still some decent players in the team. Of course, Adnan Januzaj and Alexander Isak as well. No David Silva anymore. He is long since retired, but I expect nothing but a win to keep our fantastic run going. We have, obviously, we've beaten City before, we've beaten Arsenal before. We do tend to do it at least once a season, but to get them on the board early on is a really good thing. I was going to say things like, you know, the passing's been great, lovely runs, lovely flowing football, defensively outstanding, the organisation is brilliant. Nothing to show for it at the moment, not a single highlight. It does seem to be the way whenever I record anything. It's just completely boring or ridiculous, one or the other. Anyway, we do have some action now, 5 minutes before the break, and you can see there that just the fluidity of the passing, it seems to be improved, and it's not mostly the same players. I guess the sort of, you know, the training and the more experience together has certainly helped. Maddison going forward to tackle from Januzaj, but it's fallen as far as Buendia. Does a few step overs, whips a ball in, and there's only going to be one result when he puts in a cross as inviting as that for the still very young Irishman. I mean, it's great work from Maddison. He gets a little bit of luck, but then Buendia, I mean, lovely step overs from him. It's not quite, yeah, it's a very good run, and then Adamida is surrounded by defenders, but he just always finds a way to get it in. Is this going to be one of our typically succinct Mourinho-esque games? One highlight, one goal, 1-0. I mean, maybe it is. I mean, this is the second highlight of the entire game. I mean, I don't know why we just don't do anything. We get a goal, that's it. That's all we need, really. I mean, that is 1-0 is fine, isn't it? Might not be the most entertaining thing, but it is fine anyway. Could be 2-0. Buendia forwards. Calvin Phillips off the bench. He has been pretty good in the starts and sub appearances he's made. That was a good ball, but not a great effort from Cantwell. That's the second most interesting thing that has happened in this entire game. That's well, it speaks 1,000 words, really, doesn't it? Not over yet. There's one more highlight, potentially, probably more, probably them going to score, really. 2 minutes to go. We're looking for another goal to just seal this one. A draw wouldn't be the worst result. This is probably the most difficult game in the group, so if we can hold out for all three, that would be preferable. Cantwell pings it across to Edwards. He's got a lot of defenders with him. Gets some support from Aarons, and he's looking to put a cross in. Now he goes back to Chowdhury, and we're now trying to work it down the middle or the left-hand side. Calvin Phillips, lovely ball in the area, and Cantwell, I thought he'd scored there. It was in a fantastic position. He's not even found the target. Still not over yet. There's a chance for a last-minute equaliser, but it's a brilliant header from Tarkovsky to clear the ball. Eder recycles. Cantwell, third time's the charm? No. He's had 3 chances there and he's not found the target with any of them. Rather he just sort of kept the ball. They're putting another one in. They're coming again. Is there going to be a late sting in the tail? We clear it once more. Edwards this time. Don't give it to Todd. He hasn't, and the game's over. I mean, there we go. Todd Cantwell has got himself a 6.9 with, I guess the running and the endeavour. Anyway, 1-0. Not the most interesting game. We've definitely had worse games, but apparently it was really special, according to Edmund, my assistant. But I wouldn't agree. But anyway, 3 points on the board. We've beaten Real Sociedad. That's not always the easiest thing to do, and we're well in control of the group. What we like to see. We are playing Southampton in a very short amount of time, but we'll give everyone a bit of a rest. I think it's just kind of the quality we've brought in. It is international level quality. Chris Mepham, of course, is a regular in the Wales squad, and James Maddison didn't originally get called up to the most recent England squad, but there was a withdrawal, and then he did get himself a call up and then get himself another cap. So that's good to see. Hopefully he can keep it up. I mean, if I was Sean Dyche, I would be calling him up because his form's been very good. It's like he heard me, and he knew what I just said, and he's like, you know what? No, we're not going to call up James. No, I don't think he's been that impressive, really. Not not bothered at all. Who is he called up instead? Who's apparently better than James Maddison? Who are you calling up, really? I mean, Phil Foden, okay, fair enough, I suppose. Jude Bellingham, yeah. Mason Mount, all right. I mean, he's called up Jack Lancaster, who's in the Championship. He's in the Championship with Blackburn, and you've called him up to the England squad. I know they don't play in the same positions, but I mean, he's calling up a Championship player rather than James Maddison. I think it's a little bit rude, really, isn't it? And on the subject of international management, by the way, I mean, if we can get one of these jobs, I'm going to try and do it. Adam Eder, despite his utterly brilliant form for us, he's only got 9 caps for Ireland, because basically what they do, Stephen Kenny in charge, he just consistently picks Troy Parrott. Now, attributes-wise, yes, Troy Parrott's very good. Arguably, he's better than Adam Eder. But because in real life, Adam would be starting, because this is Troy Parrott's record over the last few seasons. He got 16 goals at Millwall, same season when we were in the Championship, 13 at Hamburg, and then he's been at Tottenham. He got 4 last season, 4 goals in the league, 7 overall, and he's got 1 in the league so far, apparently 6 overall in some cups as well. So it's okay, but it's not really Adam's level, is it? Yet he gets the start all the time. Anyway, I'm not especially bothered, because it means they won't get any injuries over the international break from games. They'll just get it in training instead, or an under-23s game they don't need to play in. Right then, Southampton in the Premier League, it's fair to say had a pretty mixed time against them so far in the save. 2 defeats, 1 draw, only 1 win, and that was at Carrow Road. So we're at St Mary's today, so that bodes well. But the season so far has been one of very good performances. Can we keep that up against a team that have caused us issues? Going to go with the same team. The only question I really have is on the left-hand side, where once again, that's the players letting us down. You can see the average ratings, you can see the recent form. There's one guy on a 6.7, and then the guy on the bench is on a 6.7 as well. But well, we'll go with Lookman, and then Cantwell will come off, and I'm sure he'll run really fast and shoot wide again. Definitely sort of last chance saloon for them. I don't know which one I'd rather keep. Lookman is probably generally better, but he's always injured. And then Cantwell obviously has the advantage of being a club-trained player, which is really useful. And we only really have 4 of them who play regularly, so we kind of need him for registration for Europe. But well, it's a decision to be made next summer, I think. Right, we need 3 more points. Keep the momentum going in this apparently title challenge early on. We're down to 3rd because Liverpool have won their game, so we've got to keep the pressure on Man United. We're not going to win the league this season. That would be ridiculous. But we said last time we got to at least have the aim all the time of improving in terms of position, in terms of points tally, and that means, well, we finished 5th last season, so if we can finish 4th, get into Champions League, that is the next step we need to take. But at the same time, this is still season 4, so you know, we've done very well so far. Not in this game though. No highlights until now. It's Southampton. We should have played the Arsenal game. We won that one. They've nearly scored. Bebo nearly scoring. A bit of an outdated player, but you know he does the job. Half time, we've done nothing. It's not our favourite place to go to. We could be a bit shouty. I mean, I'm not happy with the performance out there. I'm not going to say I'm far from pleased. I'm not happy. I mean, Lookman's demotivated. He's on a 6.5 and he's demotivated. So I think Todd, warm up. Highlights straight away. Free kick. James Ward-Prowse swings it across. I mean, the header from Mepham gets it away. Not particularly far. And Danny Ings has the ball. And he's found Bebo, he's involved, trying to remain relevant. And he's probably going to score now, isn't he? I mean, as long as they don't put on MySpace, we'll be all right. Southampton looking ominous here. This is very reminiscent of the Everton game, where we just sort of are standing there doing very little, and all of the endeavour and brilliance we've had throughout the rest of the season is gone. But it's a wonderful challenge from Chowdhury, and this is what we do when we're not playing particularly well. We can spring the trap, and that trap is very deadly. It's like you put cheese in, the mouse comes along, and then bam. I mean, that is purely, we were completely out of this game. We weren't doing anything at all. And then purely brilliant challenge from Chowdhury, quick thinking from Buendia, and then this man gets in behind the lines. You get him one-on-one, and more often than not, he will find the back of the net. Number 8 for the season for Adam Eder. Can't start for Ireland, yet he's doing that well for a team apparently challenging for the Premier League title. Explain that one to me. But Southampton aren't done yet, looking to build from the back, patient play, which is what we do sometimes. I mean, that's what I like about this tactic. Generally speaking, we do build from the back. We also counter, kind of depending on the situation. The challenge has been missed. Is that Lookman? He's slid in there and missed Bebo? I mean, no one misses Bebo, do they? Golovin, Thierry, small bone is wide. I said Todd should warm up. He's coming on now. Just get on the pitch. At least you know what direction to run in. And we're not even 60 minutes in. Adam's apparently tired, so other Adam's going to come on because I can't have him getting injured. Someone else has got injured though. He was on a yellow card, so I was just thinking about taking him off. But Ronaldo Vieira, potential knee injury. I hope it's a sprain. I hope it's a sprain and not a cruciate ligament or anything like that. Calvin Phillips comes on. Maddison, free kick from deep. His set pieces are so deadly, and that is absolutely ridiculous. Although he is offside. The ball was outstanding. The run from Armstrong was a little bit too early, I think. I think it's going to have to be ruled out. Yes, it's been disallowed. We actually had one of these in one of the games recently. Buendia, I think it was Buendia's goal against Watford. We had a VAR review, and it allowed the goal, which was fantastic. Never seen that before. Seconds left at normal time, 5 minutes of injury time to get through it. Does that mean that Vieira's injury is really bad? I hope it doesn't. 3 points though, that would sort of soften the blow. We've got it. We've not played well, and we've won against the team we usually play. I mean, look at the XG. We did not deserve to win that game, and yet win it we have, and that is, dare I say, the kind of performance of champions. We're not going to win the league. That would be ridiculous. I mean, we are joint top at the moment, which, as far as Gary Neville's concerned, is essentially a title. So, yeah, it's going very well. Right, Vieira, it's a damaged kneecap, 3 to 4 weeks, considering we're now going into an international break and Harry Winks will be back after it anyway. Not too bad. And really, not too bad at all. Not the most entertaining games. Two 1-0s, 2 Adam Eder goals shortly before and shortly after half time. That is probably the most typical result of the entire save so far. But as a fan of the only team to have been managed by Jose Mourinho on 2 separate occasions, at the end of the day, when all the players are unhappy, that's bad. But when we win 1-0 every week and then win the league, and it's not particularly entertaining, but at the end of the year we lift the trophy, yeah, that's pretty good. And I don't think our football is that boring. We just don't really seem to have all that many highlights. But anyway, that is going to be where we end things off today. It's gone well. These were 2 tricky games, to be honest, both away from home against teams. Well, Sociedad, a very decent team. How are they doing in the league this year, actually? They're in 6th. So, yeah, decent team in La Liga. And then, of course, Southampton, a team who we frequently suffer against, certainly away from home. So to come out of these games with 6 points is pretty good. But that is where we're going to leave things off today. Make sure you leave a like on the video. Make sure you subscribe as well. And we will be back next time for we're going to go through pretty much the entire Europa League group and come back. Well, I mean, the Sociedad game's the final game of the group, which is a little bit annoying. That probably won't mean anything. So I think, I don't know. We'll see. Probably we'll come back at some point around December, though. Possibly the Lask and Leicester games depend. It depends how the group's going, I guess. If we're in danger of being knocked out, which I'm hopeful we won't be, then we'll see where we come back to. But somewhere around then, sort of December period. But that is going to be that for today. Thank you very much for watching, and I will see you next time with joint top. I really can't believe it.